Hey Marietta, so we back with the coldest winter ever, chapter 3. Daddy, I said softly, trying to lean on my innocent baby doll look. I wanted to get my hair done at Earlene's next Friday. Since it's some type of plot, Santana asked, why would you go all the way to Brooklyn to get your hair done? Can't you go somewhere around here? Come on, Daddy, I pleaded. They don't know how to hook my do-up out here. Earlene be having my my hair looking correct. There's plenty of black hairdressers out here. Go to Wandex. That's a 45-minute ride. It just doesn't make sense for my baby to ride in a bus, a bunch of trains, and buses just to get to Brooklyn. Bus, train, trust me, Daddy. I wasn't talking about riding either. I'm straight up hitting on you for a ride when you drive in on Friday, I said, laughing and begging at the same time. Winner, you know I don't mix business with pleasure, and I do my run solo. I don't want you to deal with that or knowing more than what you need to know. It's not smart, and I never been a stupid man. Just lay low for a while. Your mother will have her car in a couple of weeks. Then you and her could go ripping around to take care of all that early shit. Anyway, he said, with his cool face and a half smile, there ain't a female in the state who looks better than the winner, even without Earlene help. Even in my disappointment moment, a compliment felt good and worked as it did every time. I accepted Santana's rationale and went back to my room to reshuffle my deck and think of another angle to get me into Brooklyn. Days later, I called Sterling, my old sugar daddy, out of the blue. After racking my brains for a plan to get into Brooklyn, I realized he was the only sucker I knew who would get such a kick out of seeing me, that he would drive all the way out here to get me. The price of the whole arrangement was that I had to tolerate him. I gave a damn about him when I didn't. I had to think of quick answers to all his wimpy bitching questions about where I been, why I cut out on him like I did, why I never called and blah, blah, blah. Then I had to find a clever way to ditch him because I definitely wasn't spending my Friday night with him. I had to be firm so he wouldn't start that damn whining. I always had to be sweet, so if I had to use him again as my taxi driver from time to time, he would be corporate. The worst thing that might happen is I might have to end up giving him some pussy just to keep him in line or a quick blowjob while he was driving. I wasn't sweating it, though. I had done it with him before, and I could easily do it again, especially to get the hell out of Long Island. Soon as Santana Lex ripped out the driveway, Friday afternoon, I saw Sterling pulled up in his little lit car with the broken fender. I swallowed hard and got ready to pretend it was a limo. When I told my mom I was going to Earlene, she wanted to come too. I explained that she should not come because I was spending the night at Aunt Lurie's house and would not be able to get her a ride back after she finished at Earlene's. She screwed up her face as though she had a problem with me spending the night at her own sister's house. I quickly added that I would be back first thing Saturday morning to watch the kids. She let go of the anger and I jetted. Adrenaline was popping inside Earlene's. I was like a junkie getting a fix as I got filled in on the what's hot around the way. The girls dropped the regular shit on me like who's bumping who's pregnant, who's paid, who's not, and why. Who's locked down how long, and who's due to come home. Now Natalie was giving me the elbow, her discreet way of telling me to look towards the door without looking like I was looking towards the door. There go Tasia, she said out of the corner of her mouth. Yeah, Ann, I asked, waiting for the 411. She fucking with your man Midnight. The information hit me right in my chest. She was talking about my future husband. She's big on him too, especially since he got that new Acura with the rims. My heart dropped for 3 full seconds. It took 1 second for me to check Tasia out. My eyes zoomed in on her ears, hump cheek 10-karat gold earrings. Then her clothes. She was chilling a little bit, strictly hip hop style. She had big taste me titties, a small flat belly, and a round ass. She was brown skinned with chinky eyes. Regular bitch. I thought to myself, the rack that she pulled those clothes off had 1,000 pairs of the same shit, which means which means at any party, 4 or 5 girls will have it on. There was nothing unique about her, even the way she hooked up the gear. It wouldn't be hard for me to move her right out the way. But damn it, it was the Long Island distance that was killing me. A second later, my mind focused on what I really wanted to hear. Midnight had a new Acura, the one I would be riding in, the one he needed to have to sport a bitch like me. After my head was buttered, I left with Natty to go check on my Aunt Lori. I needed to at least show my face in her apartment and hang out for her an hour or so. I knew my moms would call to check on me. I'd be out partying, but at least Aunt Lori would be able to verify that she had seen me, and I would be back there to spend the night like I told my mother I would. We had plans to go to Big Mo's, the local bar, and dance at that be banging on Friday nights for the young crowd. There was never a problem about Big Mo or his bouncers getting in your business and checking IDs and shit like that. I can't begin to tell you how many hearts was racing just from being in Brooklyn's arrogant. Cars were positioned bumper to bumper for all 3 blocks surrounding Mo's club. Car and Jeep speakers were up, each one playing their own jam. Sound systems were fighting to outblast each other. A little bit of hip-hop collided with a little bit of reggae, rockers, and even slow jams. I was on foot rolling 15 deep straight Brooklyn style with 15 razor-ready girls who all had each other's back. When we got in the club, I put my plan into action. I didn't have long to work because our Long Island was looming in the back of my mind like a threat. Midnight was standing on the right side of the club where the lights were low. He was kicking it with about 5 other niggas. I caught the side of his serious face, his muscular jaws working. I laughed to myself thinking only this nigga would conduct business in a place where everybody else is trying to get their groove on. I gave my girl Natty the pincher and the whole crew started walking towards Midnight and his boys. We rushed this crew, bumping into all of them, rubbing our titties against them, using the excuse that the clubs was crowded. Of course, it only took a second before my girls had his boys distracted. I stepped up, licking my lips real slow and said roughly and sexy like, "What's up, Midnight? Haven't seen you in a while." I said this line with sensual power. I said it like he and I had been intimate in the past. And I miss him, and I needed to get back with him as soon as possible. I was standing so close to him that one more inch and I could have slid my tongue down his throat. He looked at me unaffected, completely unmoved and non-emotional. My emotion was wow. My nipples was up and the muscle in my pussy was beating like a heart. "What do you want?" he finally said. Now I was pissed. I knew my perfume had to be working. I dabbed it on so extra so when I got up close, my scent was sucking man. Hell, I had on 18-karat gold earrings and 1-carat diamond studs. Much more than that $2 10-carat hoe I heard he has been kicking it with. I didn't want to go off. The bottom line was I wanted him, so I had to play it cool. Make sure I pulled him in just right. I said, "Sweetie, what do I want?" I touched his hand with mine. Looked him dead in the eye. "Oh, I want it all." He pulled his hand back like I had a disease and slowly and coldly spit back at me. "Well, that makes you like all the other bitches in here now, doesn't it?" Rage ripped through my chest as it became clear that I wasn't even a consideration of his. Hell, he acted like I wasn't even a woman. My mind automatically flipped to Satana, who I know would have ripped out Midnight tongue for even talking to me like that. And I'll be back, y'all.